Okay, King of Wands. This is an exalted person. It can stand for a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It also can stand for taking the upper road, taking the high road. But it feels like there is a situation that came on very quickly. You know, wands are very quick and very fast acting. So this feels like a situation that came on very quickly, and that you've had to discern and maybe prioritize. But it may involve a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. But it does look like your attention was elsewhere, and now it has had to refocus. This can be a parent or a family member, someone who can be a little bit on the needy side. But it does feel like you have had to re-enter into a situation to add your expertise, help out a little bit, but it does feel like someone that can be very needy. So be really clear with your boundaries, Libra. I know it's easy for you guys to get sucked into things. You guys are wonderful, wonderful healers. So, but it does feel like something or a need, a desire, could even be a client that needed you like right now. But it does look like it's something that you hadn't planned for. That also came up in another reading, kind of quick things that you didn't plan for. It doesn't look like it involves money, but it does look like it involves energy. So it's either a project, a person, somebody that, you know, something that was not planned for them that may disrupt your August plans a little bit. What crosses you is, this is the 8. And sometimes you have to walk away from needs and things that were comfortable at one point for you. So it does look like you are setting up clearer boundaries within a family situation. So there has been a slight shift, and you may have to walk away from something that you have always handled, but it's just not working for you. So you know, take that leap of faith. Walking into the unknown is pretty scary, but it does look like you have tried many, many different ways either to appease this person. And I'm feeling like this is an older person, so it may be a parent, someone that needs a little extra help, or someone that has kind of used you in an uncomfortable way. So you may have to speak your truth, set your boundaries, and walk away from maybe projects or people that no longer serve you, and they're really asking a little bit too much of you. This green is this red is lighting up here, the cape. So there is some anger and frustration involved. So before you get to the explosive part, Libra, which is very hard to get you to an explosive part, but before you get to that point, just walk away, take a breather, and collect your thoughts for yourself a little bit. It does look like you have gotten out of the cave of last month a little bit and walking amongst others. So try something new. The moon is lighting up as well. So it looks like you have put a lot of thought into these new changes, and you are not changing these boundaries lightly. You have thought very long and very hard and trying to be very fair about something, but you haven't been very fair to yourself, Libra. So now it's time to be fair to you, set those boundaries clearly, and walk away from a situation if it no longer serves you. What is above you is the Hangman, and I love this card. It is part of the higher echelon of cards. It is of the major arcana, and the Hangman is like looking at the world from a completely different perspective. It's like when the aha moments are starting to be integrated, and August is the month for integration, so this doesn't surprise me that this has popped up. So all those lessons that you've learned over the last 12 to 24 months are kind of happening, you know, being tested now, and you're able to look at the world a little bit differently. It's just like playing chess or checkers, and halfway through the game, the board is switched around. So you may have been the black men for the first half of the game, but the second half of the game, you're the red men, and now the game looks completely different, even though it's the same game. Nothing has changed except your perspective. So that's what you're integrating for the right about now. You're integrating, trying to figure out how to integrate all those great lessons that you learned, set those boundaries with love, but with clear intention. So that is what's happening. It's above you. And what is to the side of you is the 4. So it does look like there are some things that are kind of perplexing you a little bit. Some are hanging over your head, but just pick one thing at a time. We get overwhelmed when we look at too much of all the things that we want to do or change or release. When we look at too many of them at once, we get overwhelmed. We don't do anything. So just pick one thing at a time. It does look like it is disrupting your sleep a little bit. It looks like you are worrying about things. So see if you can release some of that worry, that guilt that change brings. But it does look like you resolved a very large, complex problem. This feels like it may even have something to do with the legal system. Although I am not seeing the Justice card here, it just keeps popping in my head that something is just, something has been set, a wrong has been set right. So that will help propel you to deal with all the other things. You're getting a little bit more clarity. It's just pick one, just one until it is completed. But it does look like your hopes, dreams, and desires, this window is kind of lighting up for me, is that their hope, dreams, and desires are becoming a little bit more focused. And it does feel like, Libra, they have switched a little bit, because some things have shifted planetarily and energetically for most of us over the last 6 months. So those plans that you had for maybe years and years have to adjust with the shifts and the growth and the aha moments. So try doing something a little differently than you always have done, and it may come to you a little easier. Okay, what is happening here in the present time? This is the 9 of Cups, and this does look like it has to do with money. It does have to do with love as well. Cups are emotions, but this card can be one of inheritance. It can be resolving a legal issue to the better, but it does look in some way you are benefiting a little bit more financially. It can mean a raise. It can be kudos. Who knows? You may have gotten a great tip if you work for yourself, or maybe finally selling that, a poem or a piece of art, but it does look like you're coming into more and more balance financially. And it does look like kind of a surprise was handed to you that propelled you a little bit farther into a little bit more certainty around your finances. And as I said, for many of you, it may even be an inheritance, but this is the card of abundance. And abundance doesn't necessarily mean finances either. You could be very much in abundance of love. I do not see the in love card here, the new love card here, but that does not mean that all that work that you've done on the relationship space or cleared out the stuff in your heart, it doesn't mean that you won't be rewarded for all that hard work. So this is the card of abundance of some sort, and it doesn't necessarily mean monetary gains. It can be love gains as well. So here is the 4 of Wands, and that's kind of the come out of the cave, and it looks like you have been doing that. It does look like there may be more and more opportunities to gather. Could be weddings, family reunions, camping trips, things like this. But this is what feels like a time to rejoice, a time to gather and rejoice. And it doesn't even really have to be as big and grand as a formal gathering, but it could be just getting together with your friends and reconnecting on that joyful level, because it does look like you've done a lot of hard work, Libra, over the last couple of years. So now it's time to enjoy a little bit more of your free time and create that free time to reconnect with friends and family and the people that you can just be yourself You have been toiling over a lot of, getting things together and figuring out things and finding the balance. So now it's time to enjoy yourself a little bit. This is in the future position, so it wouldn't surprise me, Libra, if you start getting more invitations to gatherings. The Page of Cups is the basis of all this, and the cups are emotions, and pages can be messages. It can be expressions of love. It can be engagements, offerings of marriage, actual marriages, and it can mean take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith. Take an emotional risk in something. Have you been holding your heart very close to your chest lately? Maybe it's time to dust off that heart chakra and take a chance. Check out the singles online if you're single. But it does feel like you're taking a step up in your trust, in your love, and that you may be gifted with an offering of marriage or love, or who knows, someone may come out of the woodwork that's had a crush on you for years and years and gifts that expression of love to you. So some good news are coming. This also can stand for children. This is a water sign. This is a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. So maybe some of these changes have something to do with a child. So it may affect a child, but it does feel like it's in the positive realm and not in the negative. Not a challenge, but a gift. Okay, here is a 5 of swords, fives are definitely a little bit more staticky, a little challenges, but it does look like you've had to walk away from some disagreement from the past, and it may look. It looks like it wasn't yours or you didn't initiate it, but that you've learned a lot about setting your boundaries and pulling yourself out of a situation. Let these people duke it out if they continue to do so. But it looks like you took the high road in this kind of staticky situation. And it does look like it was something close to the heart. So it feels more like an interpersonal versus work. It can be something at work, but it does feel more like an interpersonal challenge. Could be family members fighting, and it just looks like you had to take a step out of it so you can look at it neutrally and let them duke it out. It's not your battle is what's coming to me. It's not your battle to figure out. So it's okay to relinquish. It's okay to kind of let go and watch from the sidelines. It's not your battle, Libra. Okay, what is the next sign? The next card that's coming here in hopes and desires. This is the 6 of Pentacles. So it does look like you have some new endeavor that you're hoping creates some more finances. It does feel like you will have to gift a little bit more, put a little more time, a little more energy to make it fly. But it does look like it's very close to manifesting into the physical world if it hasn't already manifested. There are some frustrations involved. It looks like some hidden fees that kind of popped up. But I am also seeing the scales here. And it's feeling like read everything. This is feeling more like the Justice card, like the Balance. So read everything before you sign anything, before you agree to everything. Make sure it is balanced in all aspects of whether it's money or energy or time. Make sure that all people involved have an equal part in this endeavor, but it does feel like something is opening up, something brand new is opening up for you that you've been wanting to do for a while. It may even be a side job. It doesn't feel like the main focus of work, but it does feel like some extra money or some money is coming into balance, but you do have to invest a little bit more before it starts to take off. So it may be an unexpected expense. But for the most part, you're finding your balance in this, and it's like right on the edge of taking off and getting positive kudos for this. So go Libra, go on your new endeavor. The 9 of Wands is at the culmination card point, and this is kind of like when you are looking at all the things that you have changed. It is one step before the 10, so you're right on the edge of really releasing the things from the past that no longer serve you, that no longer work for you. Taking a look at the things that have worked for you in the past and preserving those, changing those, incorporating those. There's quite a lot of things, and it feels like people, places, and things, all the nouns that you have released. So there are some friendships that you have released, maybe some family legacies that no longer work for you that you've released, friendships, jobs. A lot of stuff has shifted and changed for you in the last 12 months. So this is like taking just a little peek of the past and seeing, is everything in order? Am I sure I want to get rid of that? And it may even be on a physical level. You may be cleaning your closets, painting your house, moving things, but now it's kind of like the energy is dictating to release. And there's a lot of action in this. So you might be moving boxes. You might be physically moving to a new house. But there's a lot of movement. And this is like the final card before things are settled. So you really have been releasing all the nouns, the people, places, and things. What is to the left of this is the Three of Swords, and this is kind of the heart betrayal card. Well, it is the heart betrayal card, but it is upside down. So it does look like from a betrayal of the heart. This can even mean grieving a physical death of someone, a passing of someone. It can be, something that happened. You might have gotten fired from a job, but this is a heartache that kind of happened in the past. It is upside down, so it could be a physical death, it could be a breakup, losing a job, having to move, something that was sudden and unexpected. But out of great heartache sometimes comes our greatest joys, and that's what I see. The other side of here is the World. So with this heartache, so you could have been with the wrong person, in the wrong job, not in a safe area, whatever it was, Spirit kind of moved you out of that negative situation, even though it was a heartache. And, if it was someone who passed, it feels like Spirit is helping you move through that heartache and bringing you something more positive. So out of great heartache comes wonderful things. Sometimes we just need to release and really feel the mourning and the grief. But it does look like you're on the other side of the grief, whether, as I said, it was a breakup, losing a job, some kind of expectation that didn't come to fruition. Good things are coming out of it, and it looks like you're being shown little by little that was a good thing. When the world opens up to you, it's just that, the world is open. The world and the I can't remember the good fortune card, the Wheel of Fortune. Those are they're the highest of the major arcana. So good things are coming to you, and it does look like you had to be stripped bare. And that could mean, if you lost a job, really going hungry so you can appreciate that next meal. So you're really starting to appreciate the gifts that you have, the physical things, and your skills. So it looks like you really had to get to the deep and the dark of the depths to rise above like the phoenix, and to really feel the beauty of the gifts, and to appreciate some things that have been taken for granted for a while. So now you're really in that kind of honoring, appreciation space for your own accomplishments and the gifts that Spirit has given you. So, sweet Libra, that is your reading for the month of August. I will throw a couple of these Angels in Abundance cards. These are brand new divination. They're also a wonderful Doreen Virtue, who I like. She brings it on home with one word. So face your financial fears. I'd say that kind of brings it on home. So realize that you may be going through financial issues or challenges right now, and it will only help you to appreciate it when you do have a dime or two in your pocket, and it does feel like that is increasing. Your abundance is increasing. So face your financial fears, realize it's a temporary situation, reallocate things that are not necessary in your life financially, and detox your friendships. So yes, you have been releasing a lot of things, people, places, and things, all the nouns you've been releasing. So detox from those friendships that were really kind of toxic, or were out of balance, or you were gifting more than you were receiving. So it's really time, Libra, to get back into your scales, to get back into your balance of life, and push away the fears. Know that you are exactly where you need to be. You are on the right path, and don't give up. Don't give up at the 11th hour, sweet Libra. So I'm going to read these because I haven't worked with these before. So the first one is face your financial fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that, in fact, you have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggles with and releases these self-doubts. So it is about your creations. It is about your self-doubt. We can make more money. So hold that integrity. All it is a mind shift. It really is, and being exactly where you need to be. So finances may be a little challenging. Know that you have every gift that you need to make those changes. And detox your friendship. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you spend time. So be discerning about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with the people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. And you are one of the most generous and supportive signs out there, sweet Libra. So make sure that you are with people that are positive and hold you in high regard and don't throw barbs at you. And it does look like you have been moving out those friendships. So it's just a validation that you are on the right path.